Welcome, listeners, to the Member Advantage, the brand new podcast from the Capital Region Builders and Remodelers Association.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Member Advantage. This is Kristen.
And Christine.
We are coming to you with a quick update on some of our advocacy efforts.
Yes, today is all about the power of advocacy.
We have had a really great response since Lobby Day. So we covered all those issues in that episode. So if you haven't listened to it, go back and find that one. But it really worked explaining to the legislators that we are the local experts on this.
Yeah, it really has. This has been a very it's been a very stressful couple days, week, but it's also been really wonderful to hear that the things we're doing actually are making change happen. People are listening to us. They are coming to us because we are the experts.
So we're talking specifically about the Assembly bill for grandfathering projects when the All-Electrification Act starts.
I'm just a boo on Capitol Hill. I can't help it.
PBS thanks you. So just to kind of go over how we got there with that, it was at our Lobby Day 2024 that we got Assemblywoman Woerner to sponsor the bill that we were asking her to actually co-sponsor. She sponsored 2024. She also entered it again in 2025.
Right.
So it has been kind of on hold because of the budget process, and they were so late with getting the state budget done. But now they have gotten back to the business for the next couple of weeks before session ends. And so we were really pleasantly surprised. Friday evening, I got a call from Woerner's office, her legislative director, saying that they had been asked to make some amendments to the bill and wanted to know if we were happy with those amendments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, because that's what we try and promote at Lobby Day is we want you to reach out to us because we are the experts in this field. We have the resources. We have connections with all of the builders who really know what we're looking for. And it really was special that they actually listened.
They did.
And this bill, it addresses a major concern that the all-electrification requirement applies even to projects that have gone through planning and approval. So that's why this is kind of still up in the forefront.
Yeah. When the act takes effect on December 31st, 2025, there has been a lot of uncertainty leading up to this on what that will mean, because developments take years to come about. A lot of infrastructure takes place well before they start digging the foundation. So just waiting to find out what that was going to mean for our members has been, keeping a lot of people up at night. The amendment that Carrie Woerner brought to the Energy Committee was saying that it would be dependent on local planning board approval. If it was approved by a local planning board before December 31st, 2025, it can proceed with gas in 2026.
Right.
Which is huge for our members that have been waiting to decide what to do.
Right. I mean, I was talking to a builder the other day, and he was saying that his clients, he's got people that are they're on the fence of whether they want to actually build their home or not in this development because they don't know if they're going to be able to have gas. So it's really holding up a lot of things. So I think once this goes through, that will hopefully, let a lot of projects continue.
The Energy Committee met on the 20th. So leading up to that, I should rewind a little bit, we were looking at who on the Energy Committee is in the Capital Region so that we could reach out to them asking for their support. So in addition to Assemblywoman Woerner, Assemblyman Santa Barbara, he is on the Energy Committee. So we acted really quickly, wrote up talking points, and sent out a call to action.
I'm sure you guys saw that in your email.
And I'm sure you sent an email or called. And actually, I did hear from a lot of you who said that you had sent it or you copied me on it, so thank you for that. And that made a big difference because he voted in favor. So it did pass the Energy Committee. Now it goes to the Rules Committee, which now...
God, this is so confusing.
There's so many steps. So now it's going to go to the Rules Committee, and then hopefully it will go back out to the floor. and then hopefully it makes it to the governor's desk.
Right.
All in the next few weeks. As a result of the amendment going through the Energy Committee, then yesterday, Woerner's office reached out to me again because they had received a letter of opposition from another organization who is very unhappy about this amendment. In their opinion, they think developers have had plenty of time to adjust to the regulations since it was approved in 2023. We disagree with that, of course, knowing that it takes years. It's not just 2 years. 2 years is not enough time. So Woerner's office was asking us to supply a response so that they would be able to have both pieces available, the letter of opposition, but also the reasons why we support it. So it was very kind of them to reach out to us, provide us that letter so that we could go back with talking points that specifically addressed what they were saying.
Right, what this other organization had in their letter, yeah. But all of these things really show that participation and doing lobby day, following through on the call to action emails, it truly and honestly makes a tangible difference.
It's huge.
It's huge. If we wouldn't have, spent the time talking to Carrie Woerner, not to mention, last year.
Yes.
Then speaking to her again this year and answering the phone calls, sending the emails, getting feedback from our members.
Yep.
And then sending those emails to Santa Barbara. Who knows where we'd be?
And it's really, I feel really proud that they wanted to come to CRBRA to find out, to make sure that they thought that the amendment was the way to go, but they wanted to check and make sure. The question was, should it be tied to building permits? And it's like, no, that's too late. It should be at the planning board approval. So they came to us with those questions, happy to answer. And, now it's moving through, hopefully, knock on wood,
right.
it's going to, make it out to the floor for a vote. So Carrie Woerner's office has been so wonderful, and they are going to keep me in the loop as this progresses. So if anything comes out of the Rules Committee meeting, when that gets scheduled, she will let me know what's going on. So I will then, in turn, let all of you know.
But we do want to thank everyone who did take the time to do that. Really, really proud of those of you that stepped up and, took those few minutes out of your day to really be a member of CRBRA.
And also really special thanks and shout out to Luke Michaels Group Homes. He has been such a valuable resource for me. I'm not a builder. So for practical applications of what this looks like, it's a little harder for me to write the talking points.
Right.
I need to consult with someone who actually is, and he is someone who is always willing to take my call and also kind of work through drafts with me and helps make it better. So very, very thankful to have Luke.
Yes, thank you, Luke. Really appreciate it.
So we've been not bombarding you, but maybe you feel like we're bombarding you with asking you to do comments. Christine said it's been a stressful week or week and a half because there's just so much going on. It really is important, and so time.
Right, it's time sensitive right now.
It's time sensitive. So
believe me, if it wasn't, we would not be blasting your inbox like we have been.
Right.
So sorry, but not sorry.
But wouldn't you rather know what's going on and be looped in than after this all happens, say, well, where was CRBRA on this?
Right.
No, you know where we are because
we're in your inbox.
We're flooding your inbox. So the other item that we've been asking you all to provide comments on is for the Public Service Commission. They are responsible with all-electrification when this takes effect. It's up to them in the legislation to decide what makes it unreasonable in terms of a delay that it would cause to require a development to be all electric. So they published a white paper with what the staff thought. They worked through a few different examples of how they thought they might decide what is reasonable versus unreasonable, put it out there for comment. And again, this was the opportunity for us to show that we are the experts on this matter. So we drafted comments, again, with the help of Luke Michaels, so that every member, could send in these comments and talk as subject matter experts,
Right, and we understand that, this is very convoluted, very intense, confusing information. So that's why we try and, reach out to the experts that we have within our community. Kristen narrows it down, kind of palletizes it so that we can copy and paste, basically. And I'm very thankful a lot of you did that. To date, there are 88 comments on the PSC, and 75% of those comments are from CRBRA members. So we really appreciate it. It was a little clunky how you had to do it. Not great. It's just their silly website.
We have no control over that. But we did try to make it as easy as possible, giving you the directions for how to get to that point, because it really was multiple steps
clunky,
to get there. But, then copy paste, we made sure it fit in the word count that they allowed, and, made it something that is very recognizable that CRBRA feels passionately about this, and also opens the door for the PSC to contact us if they have questions.
Right, and one good thing to note is that these comments were open to the entire state.
Yeah.
The state of New York. We are one of the largest states. We have a huge population. 75% of those comments came from CRBRA. I'm a proud mama right now. I'm so proud.
Same. We just feel really proud of what we're providing to you so that we can empower you.
For anyone who didn't read it or didn't get a chance to look at it, some of the things that we raised concerns about were infrastructure limitations, the increased cost and affordability challenges that all-electrification will bring, and the feasibility of timelines for the implementation.
Bottom line, our message was that we understand this is happening, but the transition has to be realistic, it has to be practical, and the grid needs to be able to support it. When we were sending the PSC emails out, and there was a real sense of urgency on our part because the deadline was Monday, May 19th, PSC staff had uploaded a new document that said that they were extending the deadline. Now the deadline is June 2nd. So if you're listening to this and you haven't submitted the comments yet, please go back through your email.
And if you deleted the email, reach out to Kristen or I, and we'll forward all the information back to you.
We would love to.
It should be filed away in your CRBRA folder in your inbox. But if it's not, it's okay.
You all have that, right?
I think you should, right?
You totally should.
Yeah, top of the inbox there.
You actually could even go into the comment period.
There you go.
And go for the 75% of comments that are from CRBRA members.
Right. Copy and paste. See? Simplicity. We're making it simple.
We're trying.
The feedback that we got from our members really is what helped shape the messages that we brought to these legislators. So your opinions and your voice matters. And that is why we encourage you to participate in any and all things, whether it's sending those emails, replying to those call to actions, coming to events, reaching out. We want you to be involved, and we want you to understand as best as you possibly can, because I still don't fully understand it. And I'm in 90% of it. But it's very... Knowledge is power, dude.
We will continue tracking all that's going on in the Assembly. We didn't even touch on it, but the Senate also needs to introduce the amendment to the bill. I believe that's going to happen before the end of this week.
Does that have to... Do you know in the order of events, does that... What are the order of events? Like, does it have to go to the Rules Council before the Senate introduces it?
Nope. So the Senate needs to introduce it, decide where it goes, if it needs to go to any of their committees, because right now this has been strictly the Assembly committees.
Gotcha. Right, because there is the same bill as in the Senate with Martinez?
Yes.
Okay.
So now Martinez needs to introduce the amendment, and then if it gets sent to a committee, then it goes through their process. And actually the Assembly and Senate websites, they do kind of work together showing where things are. They actually have like a little graphic about where it is and like an arrow that it like, it got sent from the floor to here. And
this does show this is your dues at work. You know, we're here fighting for you and your businesses, for the Capital District or the Capital Region and the entire state. You know, these issues don't just affect the Capital Region. It is the entire state of New York, which we discuss is huge. Huge.
And like we've said, we're really proud that our efforts have made a difference. Legislators look to CRBRA as a resource. We want to be a resource for you, but it also is excellent for, you know, the betterment of the industry, that they look to us as a resource as well. So we're very proud of what we've been able to do, and we just want more people to get involved.
Absolutely. Yeah, so keep your eyes out for the emails that will continue to flood your inbox, at least for the next little bit. When does the legislative period end? Is it June or July?
It's June. I believe the week of June 9th is the last week of session. So it's moving through the steps at a rapid pace now. So hopefully it stays on that rapid pace. And we're able to come back with an update saying, hey, it's out for a vote. Or
wonderful.
It'd be even better to say, hey, this amendment passed. And now we have a set time frame to work with.
Very exciting. So keep your eyes on those emails, and please take the few moments. And the other thing I want to stress is send this to your colleagues. Anyone in the building industry can submit these comments, can email to their legislators. So please, if you can send it to 5 people at your company, that's 6 comments or 6 emails. It really, really, really makes a difference.
Colleagues and family.
Oh, yeah.
Friends.
Sure. Anyone in the state of New York.
Right. Really.
So we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and for your support of this advocacy effort. And we hope you continue to follow along and learn
and be a part of it.
Yes.
Don't just follow. Take action.
Oh, I love that. Hey, look at that tagline. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
The Member Advantage podcast is a production of the Capital Region Builders and Remodelers Association, hosted by 2025 President Christine Kristen and CRBRA Executive Officer Kristen Eggleston. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts. While we do our best to provide accurate and up-to-date information, any mistakes are entirely our own. This podcast is for informational purposes for the benefit of our members. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.